Okay, I need a motion for approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I need a motion for the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, canvassing of election results and acceptance by the board.
Everybody should have the results of the election certified by the city or county clerk for mayor. Alderman Ward 1, we had a tie between Brian Helms and Clyde J. Towson Sr. And Alderman 2, that was won by Dennis Bobay, and Proposition 1 did pass. So I see
Okay.
that motion to accept.
So I need a motion to accept the, the result, sorry.
I make a motion to accept the result.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we have a tie, so we're gonna have to do a tiebreaker, but Brian Helms chose not to participate. But we still need to go through and put your name in a hat. So you need to put your name on that paper, fold it up, put it in the hat. And then David will pull out the name, and that'll be our new alternate in Ward 1.
I never heard of that. I think it's kind of unusual all the way around.
Yes,
Tie.
yes. Because when David was calling to find out what we needed to do, everybody said, we don't know, this has never happened before. Of course, it happened in St. Mary's, so.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah.
Right.
And the winner
the
is?
winner of the Ward 1 Alderman race is Clyde J. Towson Sr.
Okay.
Yay, congratulations.
So now we need to, Dennis, Clyde, you need to come over here and be sworn in.
Oh,
Or
okay.
do you want us to stay in here?
That work?
Yeah, that's where we are for it. Historical.
David's good.
Oh, sorry.
He's always on the show.
All right, everybody raise your right hand and repeat after me.
And go slow.
I, Dennis Bovee. Oh, go ahead.
I state your name,
I, Brenda
I
Franklin,
shall do.
do solemnly swear that
Do solemnly swear
solemnly
that
swear that
I will support the Constitution
I will
support
support
the
the
Constitution
Constitution
of the United States
of the
of
United
the United
States
States
and the state of Missouri,
and the state of Missouri,
the provisions of all laws
provision of all laws
of this state affecting
of this state affecting
cities of this class,
the cities of this class,
and the ordinances of the city,
and the ordinances of the city,
that I possess the qualifications
that I possess the qualifications
required for such office
required for such office
as specified in the laws
as specified in the laws
of the state of Missouri,
of the state of Missouri,
and that I will demean
and that I will demean
myself faithfully in said office.
myself
in said office.
faithfully in said office.
All right, congratulations. I just need everybody's signatures here.
You want to get that, so let's get that.
All right, there's the sign there. Slide.
Hold it.
What?
Typo. Just.
Oh, just put another one there.
Okay.
Way to go, David.
I know, like we have a copy. All initially. All right.
There you go.
There you go, David. Very good.
All right.
Hey, let's go quick.
What are you doing with that?
Never mind.
No, it's not. Okay, congratulations. And you both already know what you're gonna be in for, so
Yeah.
we're not even gonna go there. Okay, public forum. We have Ed and Margie and Jeff Walker. Do you guys, are you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
Just kind of an update with the building, the old bank building. As of Tuesday, the bank did turn the building over to us, so we do own the building as of now. The First State has requested terminate the contract from the post office. We haven't heard anything, but they asked that the contract be terminated. And of course, you guys probably did see the boxes out in the front. I think they were put in yesterday or the day before or something like that. Don't know a whole lot further than that. I don't know if any of you guys, has anybody been following up about trying to keep a post office here, or Mr. Felix, I think, had done some of that homework a while back, but I don't know if you guys have done.
There was a meeting here on Tuesday,
Oh,
and we have letters that we're mailing out to the senators and congressmen about the post office. You know, letting them know that we want to.
I think someone's been, First State Bank has been in touch with Jason Smith too.
And we have too.
Yeah, we have too.
We have too.
But we haven't heard anything, so we don't know
But
much.
we need to be able to get in there
Uh,
to dry it out.
We can't, so far we don't have a key to get in there. We're hoping to get the building dried out. So we're hoping to lean on them a little bit to, give us a key at least to try to get it dried out. One thing I thought was a little odd, the ones out in the front, there's 4 sections of boxes, and I think there's 16 or something like that. It looked like there's not near as many as was on the inside. I just kind of looked like a lot more boxes on the inside, but I don't know what that got to do with it. But so you're kind of following up on that then?
Yes.
Okay.
We're trying to find out, and so
Yeah.
far we know nothing.
Yeah, I know it's a slow process.
Yes.
Now, you folks was here at the meeting when the postmaster from St. Jim was
Right.
down here,
Right,
right?
right.
Okay.
And he
So-
said that night that the
Contract.
contract had been terminated, but it still has not been terminated.
So I guess.
Do you
And
have
he
a
said that
date?
night it was terminated, but it's not yet.
Yeah. Do you have a termination date?
No.
They haven't told you folks nothing?
No, we don't know
No,
anything.
we don't know anything.
No, it did state, when the deed from the bank, that the bank will handle that part. It's not like they have a contract with us.
Yeah.
Right,
because
right.
We're the new owner, but, so the bank did say that they will handle that part, whatever it takes, so.
But it
So I
needs
guess
to
you're
be-
gonna have to wait until the lease is terminated before you get the keys.
I don't
They
know.
I don't
need to
know,
It
take
needs to
that.
get
but
dried out.
something needs
It's
to be done
wet.
real soon because it needs to be dried out.
Well, have you talked to the bank?
About the,
Yeah, about, about the bill, and the post office was leasing from the bank.
Right, right.
Okay.
Right.
The bank doesn't have keys?
So,
No,
okay,
no,
Matter
no.
of fact, I spoke with the postmaster in St. Genevieve, and he's like, I don't want anybody in there because of liability issues.
so they're gonna wait until it's
I guess.
terminated before
But
they
now-
allow.
Well, they need to send, then they should, the post office is still responsible for that if that lease isn't up. They need to send somebody down or at least open the place up.
That's what we're
That's
thinking
what
too.
we're trying to get them to do, but
At least open it up,
at
and
least
also,
open it up and air it out, but no
and when are
one
they gonna
seems
take
to-
the P.O. boxes out of there? There's a bunch.
Yeah.
There's a bunch in there, they really are, because they're wet. I don't know
Correct.
if they get rusty or, I don't know,
No,
but they really are. So I don't know if we can we, since we're doing new orders, can we do an eviction notice
Eviction
to them?
notice?
Can we do that? Or-
See,
I don't know
I
about
I don't know either.
because you're gonna have, it seems like the bank would tell you that, okay, their time's up on such a date,
You know,
and they haven't told, what are the bank
Well,
even?
didn't they?
Who have you talked to? What bank? What
It's,
person?
Dennis,
Well, the president of the bank,
president of First State.
First State
In
Bank.
Farmington.
No,
No, the post office, we talked to
Oh,
the
sure.
lady
No,
in
the
Denver.
The bank.
Oh,
The bank,
the
the bank.
president, the one that was president of the bank here.
You need to call Farmington.
Well, and he has been in
He's been
contact
in
with
contact
the
with.
one up at Farmington,
Yeah.
which is the bigger office, you know, but they just, they
I would
don't.
just say it's better to do it yourself than have somebody say they're gonna call.
And then, of course, that's one issue, but of course, the other issue is, hopefully, you guys will get a post office somewhere, and you need a post office, so
Correct,
somewhere.
correct. Yeah.
Well, we went through this with the postal service before,
Yeah,
and I've come to the conclusion that they're gonna do whatever they wanna do.
yeah,
Now, you guys, they told you, you guys were gonna have to spend between, if I remember this correctly, $40,000 to $50,000
yeah.
to get that thing.
Up to their
So what
specs.
they're doing, they are asking you
Yes.
for the moon. If you deliver the moon, they're gonna come right in.
They'd be happy with it.
Oh, yeah, sure, I'd be tickled to death too, somebody fix up my house, you know, dump 40 or 50 grand on my house, I'd love to live there too. I mean, you know, and what they're doing, I honestly believe is they're gonna do this to all small towns, up to Bloomsdale,
Yeah,
they're
right.
gonna do it to us, and they want
Down.
the big towns, they had the post
Yeah,
office. and-
Downsize, whatever they are.
Sure, and it's,
Yeah.
here's the kicker, the post office had to lower the price of the postage stamp down 2 cents.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
So you think they're not gonna be cutting corners? Oh, yes, they're gonna do whatever they can.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, but it's a shame that you guys, you know, aren't even allowed,
No, we can't go in there.
No,
you know, just to air it out. Well, if, you know,
well, I talked to one of the postmasters in St. Genevieve, I said, we need to get it aired out. No, can't get in.
Although, now, I don't know, since we own the building, it may make a difference. Maybe we need to talk to them again and say, we own the building.
But the,
We need a
but the
key.
bank before, I mean, before we took over,
Yeah.
they didn't have a key
Yeah,
for the post office.
Well, my suggestion would be to call them again
yeah, right,
and see if they will let you in.
sure.
And maybe if they won't, let us know, and maybe we can put some pressure
You
on
bet.
them also.
Right, sure, sure.
well,
You know,
yeah,
we
and,
would be
and
willing to help you do that.
we got the law right here. I mean, so, I mean,
Right, you can enforce it.
he can
You
wander
can say,
in with
hey,
you.
you gotta let those people in.
Yeah, well, he could be with us.
Well, sure,
If
you
that's
know.
an issue, if.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if they're, I don't know what their game is, but
Yeah.
if,
Very slow process.
yeah, well,
And the longer it takes, the worse the
Right.
bill you'll get.
right.
So, okay, we'll be in touch with Mr. Parks again, and then let him know that we now own the building and.
And whenever you guys hear something from these people,
Yeah,
you know, contact David.
right.
And that way we'll know, okay, what's going on, and then maybe we'll sick her on it.
Yeah,
And
right, put the heat on.
there you go, yeah, we'll see what we can do, you know.
And also, we were wondering, have you heard of anybody, or anybody know of anything you would like to see
Any
come
kind
in
of
there?
a business, have you talked about
I've,
that?
I've heard from a couple people, they would like to see like a dollar store type store, maybe a, something like that.
Right.
And I've heard dry goods, canned goods,
Oh,
because we, a lot of times when we go up to Festus, Crystal, they got an Aldi's up there.
and that's a great store.
Well, yeah, and I mean, believe me, we stock up,
Yeah,
you
we
know.
do too, we go to Cape and do that.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, you know, it's something
Well,
like that.
we-
And then we
are-
also heard some people say they'd like to see a restaurant.
Restaurant,
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
I heard that
restaurant.
too.
You're gonna have competition with the restaurant, not being.
Yeah, we don't really
We
want
don't wanna,
compete.
Down at the station.
yeah,
They
Yeah,
serve
yeah.
and we don't really wanna,
Yeah.
you know.
Uh,
but,
We have been talking to, this Mr. Soto, he's a property manager, he's supposed to come and look at the building and
kinda
make
get
some
you-
suggestions, you know, he manages all kinds of properties, and, you know, what what do you think? You know, what would work? What would be good
And
for?
we've thought about the upstairs, like a banquet hall or something, you know.
Now, that would be
Where
good.
people
Yeah, that
can
would be a
rent,
good
rent
idea
it out
there.
for different things.
That's a beautiful hall.
It is.
It is.
It's all original. This is.
Yes.
Okay, so
If anybody
anyway,
has any more
you got any ideas? You know, we're open. We don't know much about this, so we'll get Mr. Soto there and look at it
I
and
just
see.
wonder what you have to go through to get a franchise from a dollar store.
That could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you could,
Check it out.
mom and pop dollar store, you could change the name to a penny store or something, you know, but
But just
what
have a
basically,
little bit of
carry it,
everything.
yeah, carry a little
Yes,
bit of
a
everything,
little
you
bit
know.
of everything is what they were.
But, getting back to this post office,
Yeah.
you know, you guys hear something,
Yeah, okay.
call him,
Yeah, okay.
and that way, he's gonna fill everybody in and what they're doing.
Sure, sure. Hopefully within the next month, we already know
Do we have
something.
his phone number?
What?
Do we have his phone number?
We'll get your phone number. So that's kind of what, I say it's not a whole lot of new stuff, but that's kind of what we know at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, if you're having issues, let us know, and maybe we can put pressure on them
Right.
too,
Right.
and get them to do
So I'm
something.
curious, before they put the boxes on the sidewalk, how did those people get their mail?
They had to drive to St. Jim.
Gosh.
Well, as far as I know, they're still
Unbelievable.
doing it, they're still doing it,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, that's
10
even-
miles a day, you go up every day.
I can understand why they put them on the sidewalk. Can you?
Well, they didn't have.
They were
okay.
gonna put
Thank-
it
thank
in
you,
the asphalt, but it didn't work. They couldn't get it in the asphalt. That's why they
Yeah.
put it on the sidewalk.
That's really got me puzzled, the bank says they don't have keys for that building,
No, no.
Keys for the
That
post
part- that
office.
part-
well,
We got 40 keys from them, none of them are for the
Not,
post
not
office.
for the post office.
okay, well, like I said, you
All right.
guys hear anything?
Yeah,
Okay,
just-
and
just
we hear something, we'll let you know.
Thank you.
We'll get through David there.
Cool, appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you hear anything, let
I
us
got your
know.
number.
Yes, yes,
If
we will.
Walmart comes in, we'll let you know.
Okay, that'd be great, thank you.
All right,
Okay,
thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, you too. I'm gonna grab one.
Okay, Dennis, you're next.
Well,
This one?
it's a big, it's
Okay, I'm gonna be
a
short.
big
City.
city.
Okay.
I'm on a committee to, make a plan for, watershed protection.
Hey, how you doing, Doc?
What it does,
See you.
not only do we have
You'll
the slough
run the
out
church
here,
up
we
here?
got
Oh,
all
yeah.
these little creeks out here, and stuff like that.
How you doing?
Most of the
All right,
concerns
you take care.
agriculture, okay? Pesticides and stuff like that, fertilizers, and, cattle, and things like that. Remember, like, we got our wastewater plant, we got, so many other sources, and there is still a lot of sources that's not being thought about, like when people spray in their yards for weeds and stuff like that, chemicals, and on the streets, you know, when we treat streets for winterizing and stuff like that, all those chemicals. And then we do have a special problem in St. Mary and other places, flooding, okay? When we flood, there's a lot of contamination that gets into the waterways when it recedes back. So what I have done is I've given you all pieces of paper there to look at. And right now, our biggest problem is education, okay? A lot of people don't know nothing about watershed, don't know anything about protecting watershed, even though they're doing it every day. They're recycling household goods. Every once in a while, we'll have a hazardous waste pickup. A lot of times, old tires will be picked up, you know, and you got oil collection places for when people change their oil, they can take their oil down there and get it taken care of. And electronics and stuff like that, trying to keep things out of the landfills and stuff like that. What we don't realize is that there's a lot of areas that contribute to the watershed, a lot of side creeks and stuff like that, okay? People throw junk and everything in there. Farmers are now getting smart with no-till, crops and cover crops and stuff like that. And then in certain places in Cape, the cattle are being winterized in a shed, being fed in a shed to keep that stuff off the ground so it don't leach into the creeks and stuff like that. But what we're doing right now is we're coming up with a plan, because EPA is gonna come down on us and they're gonna make rules. And then we won't have a choice, we'll have to go out, no matter what the cost. So what we're trying to do is beat them to the punch, come up with our own plan, something that we can afford to do, more than what we're doing right now to protect the watershed, which will, in the long run, will affect our drinking water, you know, keeping our drinking water clean. I mean, there's so many things that we're doing now, like UV and stuff like that. But there's still a whole lot out there, and the public does not understand, you know, what watershed is. Some do if they're farmers, some are quite involved in it, okay? But there's a whole lot of people out there that's uneducated. And I ask every member of this board to educate people that they know and talk to them about watershed protection, because it's so important to conserve our water. Or we're going to end up like California, and they got a drought situation down there, hardly any water at all. So we want to prevent that, and we want to prevent EPA from coming down on our heads. If we can come up with a plan with enough people interested, and we get enough participation to come up with a plan, we can head off a lot of this stuff ourselves. Just like Perryville, you might remember recently Perryville with the sculpin fish in the caves. Well, they had to come up with a plan to protect those sculpin fish that's in the caves. Otherwise, the EPA was going to set their own rules, and they would have had to go by. But they came up with a plan that they presented to the EPA, which was accepted, and they are carefully, like sinkholes and stuff like that. A whole lot of things that people don't even normally think about. Soil erosion, stormwater, all that. We've come up with some plans on monitoring the waters. Most of the waters in the state of Missouri have already had a study done, so we got a baseline, okay? What we're trying to do is, in some areas, set up a baseline so that we can see that we aren't degrading it any more than what it already is, okay? And try to clean it up the best we can. That's the reason you'll hear someone say about the stream team, okay? Missouri stream team, they're going around and cleaning up the like they did up there in St. Genevieve along the river. They cleaned it up. Stream teams are doing things like that to try to prevent more contamination into our Missouri waters. Because believe me, people, we have to protect them. It's going to get real critical. We only have 1% of water being used in the whole world. The rest of it is in icebergs and oceans and stuff like that. So we really have to start paying attention. And I would appreciate it if each one of you aldermen would put down your ideas of what you think this area needs most to protect our waters out here, okay? Just anything that you can think of that we can do, so when we come to Flint. Yes, sir. You said some question?
I'd actually be willing to contribute to this, if you're interested in my input.
You bet. You bet, sir. That's admirable. That kind of attitude is what we need.
But I understand what the problem is, but it's so huge.
Right. Oh, we're not going to solve it all in one night.
Well,
I mean,
I got something else to add.
okay.
Are they doing anything with the city of St. Louis? The people upstream, because every time it floods, their sewers go over in our water.
Right. Okay, here's the thing.
And they're doing a lot.
They are.
That's what
Okay,
they're about.
and you're right. You're right, Clyde. We're focusing on the upper Mississippi right now. There's 8 areas, you see there's 8 different areas of watersheds that they're taking a look at. We're focusing on the upper Mississippi now. Later on, they're gonna do Whitewater and a couple other, you know, stuff. Not us personally, not our area, but the group is gonna look at other areas also. We're starting off with the upper Mississippi, because it's such a big watershed. It goes from Cape Girardeau all the way up to St. Genevieve. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I have friends that do work in this area in other countries, and I wasn't aware of it, but all in Illinois, the Cache River, water basin or whatever is it's a international preservation zone, ecologically, because they have old cypress swamps and stuff. And they get special funding or whatever to help maintain that and preserve their aquifer there as well as, you know, the waterways there.
Exactly.
And this, we have kind of a model for it across the street, because as I understood, I don't know if I'm correct or not, but the Nature's Conservancy had bought up land along here and we're maintaining it as a wetlands for that reason. So if there's a way to tag into that, then great. Your point about not creating waste to begin with is the key thing, but the
There's so
backup,
many other things.
yeah, and the backup to it is what you plant around it, like cattails or
Right.
swamps are actually, we look at them as weeds, but they're
Berms and
beneficial
stuff
and
like that.
purifying.
Exactly, exactly. And our next meeting is at the end of this month. If you're interested, I'll make sure you get on the mailing list, okay? Thank you so much for your comments. I'm done. If you want to move on, that's fine.
I want to move on.
Okay.
Okay, old business. We discussed in the past, giving the employees a raise. So, do you wanna, did you guys decide what you wanna do, I guess?
I will make a motion that we give Frankie and Mike each $1 an hour raise.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Or just a roll call.
Roll call this
one?
Yeah, let's roll call it just to
Hey.
be safe.
I can't vote.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's a blanket.
It's a blanket.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
If it's just-
You're right,
If
I'm
it's just
sorry.
for the
You're right.
individual, that's different.
You're right, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll mix it up. Alderman Paul Franklin.
Aye.
Yes.
Alderman Blake here. Alderman Troy Bader. Okay, Alderman Dennis Bovee.
Yay.
Alderman Clyde Kotsu.
Nice.
Okay, sorry, Clyde, I was,
I know, I've been through this before, so I know.
okay. Okay, law enforcement ordinance enforcement. We have a new chief of police, and, he's learning as he goes. But I would like to introduce him. I mean, all the board knows him, but this is our new police chief.
Step on out here, Aaron.
And so, you know, we're gonna be working on we've got some issues here in town that, you know, after he gets settled in, we're gonna start working on some of the problems that we have. The abandoned homes, that's number one on my list. We need to get something going about all that, so,
Because they didn't burn.
yes, yes. Because we got a couple of them that we need to, but next month we will go into more on that issue. Okay. Okay, new business. The board needs to select an acting president. So you guys need to decide who you want to be the acting
Like
president.
I assume.
Okay,
I'll second that.
yeah. Okay, do I need to do
Let's do a roll call, just.
okay.
You gonna flirt it?
I'll start it.
Ready, girl.
All right, Alderman Dennis Bovee. Alderman Paul Franklin.
Aye.
Alderman Gloria Bader. Alderman Clyde Kotsu.
Okay, did you get everybody on that, the phone kind of?
Yeah, the phone, but
Departmental reports, emergency management.
All right, I had my kickoff meeting with FEMA. Mr. Maurice Waters and Justin Blocker came down. They requested a lot of information on the city ordinances that have to do with emergencies and flooding, the personnel policy, our procurement policy, our insurance policy, the volunteer sign-in sheets, all the paperwork that had to deal with the flood receipts, a whole lot of stuff, which I had ready for them. You know, they were saying, oh, you're organized, good deal. But still, they want a whole lot more. They want every piece of equipment that was used, both city-owned and that was donated to us. They want the make, model, serial number of all that, how many hours it was used, and, you know, I put together a spreadsheet with all that information. So I finally got all that stuff done. I had to have liability waivers signed by people that have pumps on their property, also for the emergency access roads, so we get, you know, paid for that. I'm getting very, very close. He says, I'm almost ready to get your signature on something. So I'm thinking I might be the first one reimbursed in this county. So there's
That'd
good,
be awesome.
really good news on that front. There was a class coming on, and he gave me information on, like, grants for getting mitigation things. And he said, you know, they're really good at, you know, helping out small towns. He says, you know, we can, you know, he says a lot of towns get fire trucks and things like that. I said, I want to vote. He's like, well, what do you want to vote for? Because I need one for damage assessment, for evacuation, I need one to get food. I mean, it was very critical that we had a vote here, and we did not have one here. He said, well, then you should put it for that, which I will. There's also a one-day class on that very subject, procurement under FEMA awards. It's May 17th from 8, it's actually just half a day, and it's close. It's in Arnold, and I'd like permission to go to that to help me fill out this grant I'm gonna write, you know, to get the boat, plus the fire department can use it for water rescue and things too.
Most definitely. I agree with
You guys okay with David going to this?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, and also, I did complete the after action report. Whenever there's a disaster or emergency director is supposed to do an after action report. This is, there's a lot to this, basically, but you could, the part that's important in my mind is the back, where areas where we had problems and things that we can do better next time. So the last 3 pages, you know, I'd like you to read at your own convenience, because these are things I think we can, you know, I can work on. I actually am going to be working on a lot of this stuff, but just so the next time we don't run into a lot of the problems that we had. We had a lot of problems with this one we did not see coming.
But I think we done pretty good for our first
We did.
major disaster.
We did. It was my first disaster. I admit I made some mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, but next time we're not going to make those mistakes. And I'm also going to do, besides this, put together a small, pamphlet guideline on how to get money after a disaster. All the things you need to do, like all the documentation you need to have, you know, all the meetings, you know, what order they happen, what you got to have ready. So we're going to be ready for the next one. So that's all I got.
Okay. Water and sewer report.
Okay, they had a leak up here at Mary Cliff. The guys went above and beyond trying to find it for them because it wasn't on our side, it was on their side. But they went above and beyond the call of duty to take care of it. And we had about 6 grinders that they worked on. We got the one up there, the old one at Marion Cliff, at the antique mall. They worked on that and got that going, okay. At least partially anyway. And then the lift station out there at Saberline, the pump was totally ate up for some reason. Don't know, I have no clue why. They've got that, worked on that, they got that going good. The other one's kind of shaky, so they had Joe Beffa down here helping them. They went down there and took care of it.
But they got it fixed, right?
Yes, it's running. They haven't got the pump done yet because we're not sure whether we want to put repair parts in it or if we want to get a new one. Okay?
You have something to say?
Yeah, Joe Beffa came and got the pump. It's the propeller. It ate the propeller up. Something ate it completely up.
Yeah,
We don't know if it's clogged in the line or not, and won't know until we get the pump back.
Okay,
Once we get the pump back in place, then we'll know if the line is clogged or not.
okay.
Last word I had with Joe, they still haven't got the pump could tell us if the pump is fixable or not.
Okay,
He's supposed to get back with me and tell me one way or the other on it.
okay,
Now, the motor is still good, but he doesn't know if the shaft is bent on it or not. If it's bent, then, you know, we have to get a new one, but the motor part of it will still be good.
okay.
Anyway, that's, the Baptiste have been good, and, Mike's been doing a pretty good job keeping the residual up, so, that's basically all I got to report.
Okay. Park and Cemetery.
Everything looks fine, and,